Believe in yourself, never give up, an inspirational story. What if your greatest victory is hiding behind the one moment you're about to quit? Every dream looks impossible before it becomes reality. Every successful person has faced rejection, failure, and loneliness. The difference is simple. They refuse to give up. This is the story of a young man who lost almost everything, but never lost faith in himself. His journey proves that when the whole world says, "You can't," the strongest answer is, "Watch me." Believe in yourself. In a small mountain village lived a young man named Adrian. His family was poor, and his future looked uncertain. While others dreamed of becoming doctors, merchants, or soldiers, Adrian dreamed of becoming someone who inspired people. Everyone laughed at him. "You can't even change your own life," they said. "How will you change anyone else's?" Their words hurt more than he admitted. Still, every morning before sunrise, Adrian stood on a lonely hill and whispered the same promise to himself: "I believe in myself, even if nobody else does." Days became months. He worked long hours carrying heavy sacks at the village market. His hands were covered with cuts, his clothes were old, and his pockets were almost empty. But every evening after work, he spent hours reading books borrowed from an old librarian. He believed that knowledge was the only treasure nobody could steal. One winter, disaster struck. The market closed after a terrible storm. Adrian lost his only job. People shook their heads. "It's over. You should stop dreaming. Accept an ordinary life." For a few days, Adrian almost believed them. He sat alone beside a frozen river, wondering if he should give up forever. Just then, an elderly traveler sat beside him. The old man picked up a small stone and threw it into the river. "Do you know why this stone reached the other side?" he asked. Adrian looked confused. "It didn't." The old man smiled. "No, but it moved farther than the stones that were never thrown." Those words echoed in Adrian's heart. He realized that trying and failing was far better than never trying at all. The next morning, he made a decision that changed his life forever. Instead of searching for another ordinary job, he started building his own future, one small step at a time. Every rejection became a lesson. Every mistake became experience. Every failure became proof that he was still moving forward. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, people noticed something different. Adrian no longer complained. He no longer feared failure. He only feared giving up. Whenever someone mocked him, he smiled and replied, "Success belongs to those who stay in the race after everyone else has quit." His confidence grew stronger with every challenge. One day, an opportunity arrived that nobody expected, and it would test everything Adrian had learned about believing in himself. To be continued. Here's the continuation of your story. Believe in yourself, never give up, an inspirational story, part 2. The opportunity came from an unexpected visitor. A successful businessman named Mr. Harrison arrived in the village looking for someone honest and hardworking to manage a new woodworking workshop in the nearby town. Many skilled workers applied. Adrian did not. He believed he wasn't experienced enough. When Mr. Harrison asked why he hadn't applied, Adrian answered honestly, "I still have a lot to learn." The businessman smiled. "Skills can be taught. Character cannot." Those words changed everything. Adrian accepted the challenge. The first few months were incredibly difficult. He made mistakes almost every day. He measured wood incorrectly. He broke expensive tools. He lost customers because of his inexperience. People whispered, "We knew he would fail. There are better workers. He'll quit soon." Every night, Adrian wanted to give up. But before sleeping, he looked into the mirror and repeated the same promise he had made years ago. I believe in myself, even if nobody else does. The next morning, he always returned to work. Instead of hiding his mistakes, he learned from them. He arrived before everyone else. He stayed after everyone had gone home. He watched experienced craftsmen, practiced for hours, and filled notebooks with everything he learned. 1 year later, the workshop that once struggled became the busiest in the region. Customers traveled from distant towns because they trusted Adrian's honesty and quality. The same people who had laughed at him now asked, "How did you become so successful?" Adrian smiled and replied, "I wasn't stronger than anyone else. I simply refused to stop." Years passed. Adrian eventually opened his own training center where young people learned not only woodworking, but also courage, discipline, patience, and self-belief. On the wall of the workshop hung a simple wooden sign: "Dreams don't come true because they're easy. They come true because you refuse to give up." One day, a young boy entered the workshop with tears in his eyes. "They say I'll never succeed," he whispered. Adrian placed a hand on the boy's shoulder and smiled. "They said the same thing to me." Then he handed the boy a small wooden seed he had carved himself. "Keep this with you. Whenever life tells you to quit, remember that the strongest trees begin as tiny seeds buried in darkness." The boy smiled. For the first time, he believed that his story wasn't over. It had only just begun. Moral of the story: believe in yourself even when nobody believes in you. Failure is not the end of your journey. It is part of your training. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not always the most talented. They are the ones who keep moving forward when others give up. Never give up. Believe in yourself. Your greatest breakthrough may be just one more step away.